Yes, this is another video where we're going to talk about my potential furry kink again. Today I am filming a video that is inspired by the great news that we have received this year, which is that Sarah J. Maas is coming out with the 4th ACOTAR book in the series. It is coming out in January 2021. I was there when it was first announced, but even if I wasn't, everybody tagged me anyway, so there was no escaping it. But that's okay, because as we all know, I am a huge Sarah J. Maas stan. I support her getting her coin. I support the hustle. The fact that a woman can write 700 pages each book about fairy dick and banging in the sky and giving blowjobs in the middle of the war, I find that commendable. I have nothing but respect for my queen. Even though I don't plan on reading Throne of Glass or Crescent City, I do plan on continuing the rest of the ACOTAR books that she is going to put out because the series just has a special place in my heart. Most of you found me through my ACOTAR videos, and I feel like we formed a really special connection. It was like the shared journey that we all had together. And so I have a tender place in my heart for ACOTAR. I don't mind continuing the series and seeing the journey between Nesta and Cassian. I think it actually might be interesting to switch it up a little bit because there's only so much you can take from Rhysand saying it's your choice all the time. There's only so much I can read about Faerie painting and I still don't know what exactly she's painting. If you have somehow been living under a rock, A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's a very popular YA series that technically should be new adult because there's a lot of smut scenes. It's about a girl who gets entrenched into the world of fairies, and fairies are basically humans but with magic and big dicks. I made a video for every book in the series so far. I'll have the playlist linked down in my description. It will be good for you to familiarize yourself with the series because today I am gonna take a couple of quizzes to determine what character from A Court of Thorns and Roses am I. There's also a quiz for which court would you belong to because there are different courts in the series that the fairies are divided in. So I'm gonna take that for funsies. Basically, we're just gonna, hype ourselves up until 2021. There's just so many things to look forward to in the new year. COVID-19 will hopefully be over, and then we'll have a new epidemic, which is the fairy dick epidemic, and I'm excited. We're gonna start off with a simple quiz that determines which character I am. What gender do you identify as? I identify as female, but I don't like that the first question is just asking you what your gender is because I feel like that shouldn't determine what kind of character you are. I feel like this is just gonna limit me to only the female characters from the ACOTAR series, which is unfair because what if I'm not similar to any of the female characters? What if I have big dick energy? Let's start off with an easy one. Who is your favorite character? I have read the 4 books and I've never stopped to think who my favorite character was. I wonder why. Rhysand, Faerie, Mor, Amren, Nesta, Cassian, Elaine, Azriel. I just realized that Tamlin is nowhere to be found in this list, and he's literally one of the main characters of the first book before his character got demolished in the next 2 books. And the novella, where they basically ganged up on him and beat the shit out of him physically and psychologically. Oh my god, this quizmaker literally was just like, Tamlin who? We don't know him. He started dealing with PTSD after the end of the first book, and then everyone kind of just ditched him because he turned out to be an asshole, even though everyone is equally, if not more of an asshole, but they don't get checked. The disrespect right here. I mean, I wouldn't have picked Tamlin anyway, but still. But I think I will go with Cassian because I am kind of intrigued with seeing him in the new book that's going to come out. I also am intrigued by how he can put up with Nesta because she always acts like she has a stick up her ass. So I kind of like that he has such patience for her. What quality do you like the most about yourself? My good looks? Well, definitely not that. I think I'm gonna go with my quick wit. A lot of people have complimented me before about how fast and witty I can be with responding to something or just making a joke about something. It's actually really easy to be witty or funny because all you do is just read a book and then you make a bunch of dick or booby jokes about it and then somehow people think it's funny. That's the secret to my success. What quality do you like the least about yourself? Oh my gosh, how much time do we have? Oh no, the second to last option, I tend to overcompensate with humor. That hit too close to home for me. Literally last week, I had this revelation that With various things that have happened in this community, with various people that have treated me a certain way, I've always joked it off as drama or people being Karens. But I came to this revelation this one night that I have actually felt really hurt and ostracized by things that have happened to me in the community, but I've always just covered it up with jokes instead because that's my coping mechanism. I never realized up until that point how much I really bury my true feelings, because every time I feel sad or upset about something, I don't actually acknowledge it. I just cover it up with jokes instead because I try to think, oh, well, if I joke about it, then it's not that bad or it's not that serious. When really, I'm a soft bitch and I do have feelings and my feelings do get hurt. This revelation was so new to me that I ended up tweeting about it, and I said, something I realized about myself is that I'm terrible at acknowledging how I feel hurt by things that have happened to me in this community because it's easier to cover it up with jokes instead. But like Resand, you can't shake the mountains of your mind unless you come with your heart. If you had to battle an opponent, how would you go about it? I'm gonna go with from a distance so it's less personal. I think I've learned to be more stealthy around people and not make myself such a target, which is a very valuable thing to learn when you are a person of color. What is your style? Well, I'm currently wearing a company t-shirt that I've been wearing for the past 5 days, and I'm not wearing any pants as well. So I don't know if I really have a style. What is with some of these options? An elegant dress. Plain but powerful. We know this is definitely about faerie. I'm so plain, but don't worry, I'm still a badass bitch and I can somehow kill a bunch of people even though I didn't actually train or do anything. Something practical to work in. Courageous but clean. How is being practical courageous? I think people would guess that I would choose the last option, which would be fashion doesn't appeal to me. I just throw on whatever because that's currently how I live right now. But I actually do like dressing up every now and then. I do like looking cute. It's just that my laziness outweighs everything, and that's why I don't look cute. But when I did kind of dress up a little bit, I would wear crop tops and pants. I used to wear crop tops a lot, to the point where one of my performance reviews at my last job was someone complaining that I wear crop tops to work. There was this white dude at my last job who really did not like me, and he wrote this horrible performance review that wasn't really anything about my work. That's right, I had my very own Tamlin at my workplace, and he hated my guts. He wrote a bunch of bad stuff about my personality and my sense of humor and my clothing attire at work. And then a month after that, he got fired because he was terrible at his job. And then 2 years after that, I got hired at another company that pays me 6 figures. That's right, I'm gonna wear as many crop tops as I want, and you, sir, are gonna be like Tamlin, forgotten about. You hate to see it. A silly question because I got bored. What stereotype are you? I think I'm gonna go with wine mom, simply because a lot of people in my comments have referred to me as their wine aunt. Oh, but cranky librarian is actually kind of good too. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with cranky librarian because I feel like that suits this channel more. Someone you love is in grave danger. They have been kidnapped and you have little information about their situation. All you have is an anonymous tip about their location and that they might come for someone else. What do you do? Oh geez, there's so many options. Okay, you take your family and hide, hoping that their sacrifice has gained you some time to get out. Whoa, you're not gonna go after them? Damn, okay. Is this the Tamlin option? You tell no one that you have gone after your loved one and track them by yourself. I hate it when people do that. Just communicate. Tell them where you're gonna be and then work together. You try to find a way to negotiate with the kidnapper, showing up without weapons to prove you want peace. That's a dumb solution. Why would you show up without weapons? I think the option that I am gonna pick is you go look around where they last were seen and hunt for clues, waiting to make a move. I think that just suits my personality better because I try not to have such like a knee-jerk reaction, especially when something serious happens. I try to like take some time and contemplate about like what's the best thing to do is. And a lot of times the best thing to do is to kind of just gather information first and then use that to figure out what the next step should be. You end up in a dark cave after you eventually located your loved one. They end up offering you a deal. You can choose to trade places. Only one of you can walk free. What do you do? I will try to barter the creature for a better deal because I don't think just keeping me is worth it. I'm sure there's like tons of better things that you can keep instead, like gold or I don't know, a Klondike bar, literally anything else. View my results. I got Nesta! You got Nesta. She is devastatingly beautiful, but a hothead. All she does is helping her sister in any way possible, whether it's financially or another means. Wait, no she doesn't. She was like a total bitch to her sister. When did she ever help Feyre, like financially or any way else? This doesn't make sense. I don't agree with the second sentence whatsoever, but I don't mind this result because Nesta is gonna be like the main character of the book coming out. So I feel like this is perfect. This is all coming together. We have now come full circle. It turns out that the new books are gonna star me, which I don't mind because I'm kind of intrigued by Cassian. I actually feel like he's the one who has a bigger dick than Rhysand because I feel like Rhysand is always talking about how big he is, and I feel like if you always have to talk about it, maybe it's not that big. Whereas Cassian has always been very low-key about it, and that means he's probably packing. Okay, now let's go with which court would you belong to? I actually don't know anything about the courts because I don't pay attention to the world building or the character development or the plot. I just paid attention to one thing and one thing only when I read the book series, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Pick a personal motto. The more that you read, the more things you will know, by Dr. Seuss. That is so false because if you look at book Twitter or just the book community in general, there's so many idiots out here who don't have any reading comprehension. So that really couldn't be farther from the truth. Ooh, I like be as shrewd as a serpent and as innocent as a dove. That screams Slytherin energy, and I'm all about that. Disguise yourself as a Slytherin, but pretend that you're a Ravenclaw. How would you most like to spend a weekend? I think most people would assume that I would pick the first option, which is to work your way through a pile of books, but I feel like I do that every day. So on a weekend, I kind of want to change it up a little bit. I'm gonna go with visiting an art gallery and strolling around a stately home. Whenever I go to a new country, I always check out their museums, and a lot of times in Europe, there are a lot of tourist places where you can check out rich people homes and castles and palaces and all that, and it's so bougie, but I love being in that kind of environment. I just love being a class trader, so we're gonna go with that. What's your favorite fairy tale? I don't feel strongly about any of them, but I'm stuck between Little Red Riding Hood because, you know, I like wolves. Yes, this is another video where we're going to talk about my potential furry kink again. And then the other one is Rapunzel because I really like Tangled. I cried when I watched that movie. I think we're going to go with Rapunzel. What's your favorite kind of party? Bonfire gathering. I don't like smoke on my clothes. I don't like the fact that I had to take a shower right afterward. I don't like any excuse for me to take a shower. Picnic in a pasture. I don't like sitting on the ground. I don't like mosquitoes and flies and ants getting on me. Christmas. I don't like that because family has ruined that for me. Refined mask ball. I can't wear any masks because I have glasses. Cocktail evening with burlesque entertainment. I don't like to spend money on alcohol. I am gonna go with sunset boat party. I think there's something nice about chilling on the boat, so we're gonna go with that. Which one of these cute animals makes your heart melt? Oh my god, of course we gotta, oh wait, no! We're stuck between two answers. The furry fox cub or the huggable husky. Oh no. I love dogs. Oh man, I wish I could choose both. Oh, they're both so cute. Okay, we're gonna go with furry fox cub because the word that I've been thinking about a lot lately is furry. Anyway, you have a massive crush on someone. What do? Be myself. I'm a total mistress of seduction and always get who I want. I wish that answers for these quizzes didn't add these extra things because I do like the idea of just being myself, but I'm not gonna say that I'm a total mistress of seduction because first of all, I haven't showered in a couple of days. I'm not even wearing any pants right now. I'm feeling the opposite of mistress of seduction. I think I'll just try to engineer a way to spend time with them. What does your best friend love most about you? I think I'm gonna go with my sharp wit because I feel like a lot of times the friends that I do have are just people who have the same kind of sense of humor as I do, which is basically just poo-poo and booby jokes. Which of these are your least appealing attributes? I think by now we all know that I am vulgar, so I don't see the point in choosing that. I think I'm gonna go with I have a secret sly side because I feel like people think I'm a better person than I actually am, but I wouldn't hesitate to cut a bitch. I I would just do it very slyly. What's your sweet treat of choice? Ooh, I like this question because I love dessert. Ooh, I love all of them, but I'm gonna go with the cake. Pick an outdoor activity. I actually don't like being outdoors. I'm gonna go with meadow meandering because that seems like the most leisurely. Like I can just walk and not have to do any extra exercise. Skinny dipping in a sparkling lake. We know who that's for. Which of the following would you most love to receive as a gift? Why are all of these jewelry? I don't wear any jewelry, so this is just not applicable to me whatsoever. I guess if I had to choose one, I'll go with a choker. Not because I'm kinky or anything, I just like the way that it looks. What's your favorite smell? Seductive jasmine. How can jasmine be seductive? Sweet rose blossom. Oh no. Reading The Wives has ruined this for me. I think I'll go with the sea. Which botanical beauty most blows you away? I am gonna go with magnificent marigolds. I just figured that if I'm gonna get flowers, I might as well just get the brightest that I can. My second choice would have been sunflowers because the novel that I'm working on right now has sunflowers as a consistent symbol throughout, but I personally think marigolds are prettier. How would you describe your style? Definitely comfy. Which of the following would be top of your bucket list? Write a life-changing novel. Aww. I actually would be really, really honored. I do like the first two options because I love to travel, but I feel like it's more meaningful to put in this work to write a novel and write a story and then have it be really life-changing to someone or really impact someone. Okay, not to get all sappy and shit, but the novel that I'm working on right now is basically an allegory for depression, and it's based heavily on the way that I've dealt with my depression and my mental health. If I have just one person who reads the book and it relates a lot to what goes on in the story and sees themselves in the story and feel seen by that story and it helps them come to terms with depression, I feel like that would make me feel very, very grateful and glad. So I'm gonna go with that. Calculating results. You belong to Winter Court. That's actually my least favorite season, so I'm curious to see why that is. There's something charmingly understated about you, inside and out. You're thoughtful, composed, calm, and graceful, but keep a sharp eye on the icy shrewdness that runs through your veins, you wily Winter Court dweller. I can kind of see that. I would consider myself to be thoughtful and I can be composed as well, but I can be shrewd, so I can understand this answer even though winter is my least favorite season. Alright, so that concludes my results for the ACOTAR quizzes. It turns out that I am most like Nesta and I also belong in the Winter Court. I don't know what this really says about me and my personality, but we're just not gonna think about that too deeply. Before I end this, I wanna say thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Their membership gives you a lot to explore with real projects to create and the support of other creatives so that you can accomplish real growth. It's curated specifically for learning, which means that there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so that you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. There are so many classes for design, entrepreneurship, filming, but the one that I want to recommend for this particular video, just to go along with the ACOTAR theme, is a class that I think Farah would really enjoy and perhaps need, and that is Watercolor in the Woods, a beginner's guide to painting the natural world. This is a very beginner-friendly class. The first 1,000 of my subscribers who click on the link in my description below will get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. Go ahead and check out Skillshare, explore your creativity, and unsubscribe from my channel. Goodbye.
She's got a Beverly Hills boy.